Thursday night football, Underdog Pick'em. Let's get after it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Gig, here at Daily Edge Sports. I'm on a video, Underdog Pick'em. Got a few plays we're going to talk about. Again, the Saints are decimated with injuries. It's going to be one of those games that I don't think I'm going to go super heavy on, just with a ton of unknowns on that Saints side. Not a lot of data to kind of back up a ton of the plays that I do like. But we're still going to talk about them, kind of give you my thought process in them. If you want to use them, fade them. That's completely up to you, but I will give you the analysis that I did find last night on a few plays, and we'll dive right into it. But if you don't have that Underdog account, make sure you use that promo code CashK and get yourself a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. And man, we had a night in Discord, and we'll talk about it. Let's get after it. All right, Underdog Pick'em is up on the board here. They got a sweet mobile app you can download as well. Again, Thursday night football, ugly game. I've talked about it. Feels like the last couple days. The Saints are just decimated with injuries. 3 starting linemen are out, or offensive linemen are out for them. We got no Chris Olave. Shaheed is out. There's their 2 offensive weapons there. It's just going to be ugly. They're starting quarterbacks out, so Rattler starting again. There's just not a lot of data to be like trying to back up plays that you have outside of just trying to figure out how this game script is going to go. I mean, it's going to be a rough one. So with a lot of unknowns, definitely not going to go super heavy on this game and kind of want to see how it plays out. But build your picks in a game script, especially for these one games. If you think it's going to be Denver gets up early and the Saints are playing from behind, then play that game script. If you think it's going to be a close battle with a lot of kicking, then play the kickers and maybe not, have those skill position players be so heavy on them. So really has everything to do with that. Last night, man, absolute massive wins yesterday. Maverick gave out this 25x yesterday on PrizePicks. He did a total of 4 slips. I think 1 went 4 for 6, 2 went 5 for 6, and then 1 went 6 for 6 for this 25x. So congrats to everybody in the Discord. And then ACAP gave out this 6, a 25x on Underdog. Gave this out. So absolutely crushed it. A lot of guys hit this. I think he gave out a 15x as well, with one guy pushing. But just absolutely monster night. Head on to the Discord and just kind of see, this is on the bets won here, and just kind of see what everybody did. I mean, there's so much green. Gave out some chalkboard stuff there from Trey, but just all kinds of green from last night. It was just awesome to see. Love seeing all the subscribers absolutely crush it, and just across the board, just a monster night all around. So yeah, if you want access to this, prices are going to go up tomorrow, but you can get grandfathered in for as long as your subscription is active. If you head on over to dailyedgesports.com, hit that subscribe button, get in now. As long as your subscription is active, you will be grandfathered in before the prices go up tomorrow. But yeah, absolutely heater, and just going to continue to get after it, man. But it was, a lot of fun. But let's get after these picks for today. So first one I'm going to talk about, let's just talk about Alvin Kamara in general, right? I mean, he is really the only skill position player that has seen really any massive work. With those 2 guys out, I think they're going to use him a lot in the passing game. So, my favorite play of his is definitely going to be the 6.5 targets. That's where I like him the most. That's where I want to play him the most. But if you want to look at, receiving yards, projection at 36.5. I mean, this moved a ton. This was, I gave it out earlier. It was like 32.5 or 31.5. It's moved a ton. So I still think it's playable. I just prefer the targets for him. Rushing yards, I would go lower than this if you want to go Kamara with those 3 offensive linemen out. And, we might just see just pass heavy here, right? A lot of short passes to him, gets the screen game going. And I just don't think that they're going to run a ton. And that being the case, if you look at where is the rushing attempt, 16.5, I think this is too high as well. I would go lower than this. Target wise, last 3 games he's had 9, 8, and 8. The last game 8's important because Rattler started that game and he did have 8 targets, which you do like to see. You never know. Sometimes these quarterbacks like to get out and run a little bit. Maybe they don't give him the ball, but he did give him the ball 8 times. Now they got down against the Saints bad, and maybe this is something. I don't think Denver's going to put up the points that Tampa Bay did, but we saw 11 and 13 rushes last 2 games out of Kamara. You would think that they would try to maybe run the ball with him, but I don't think they're going to have a ton of success with a lot of those injuries that they have on the offensive line. So again, I would go lower on the rushing, higher on the receiving yards or targets, and that's just kind of how I would play Kamara and maybe do a couple different things with him. The other one I would like to go out, Spencer Rattler. I do kind of like completions going higher than that, but one thing I do think, because he'll have to throw more, maybe he'll throw up an interception here. This is actually a lower 0.86x, so it's just one of those spots where if he's going to be throwing the ball more, he is still a rookie quarterback, and he's going to make some mistakes. Now I know Patrick Surtain is not back there, and it hurts their defense a little bit, but he is still going to make some bad throws, and it only takes one. So I'll take a chance on Rattler throwing an interception in this game. It is at home, which does help him a little bit, but he is a kind of a cocky kid, and he'll try to make some throws that I think he shouldn't be making in the National Football League, and they'll let him know that. So I will mix him in a few 2 and 3 mans. I just want to kind of mention Spencer Rattler. If we're going to think it's going to be pass heavy, I do think there's a spot where, he can throw an interception. Another Saint guy that I do like today, I like the tight ends quite a bit here. And Foster Moreau, 9.5 receiving yards. I like going higher than this. I think this is too low for him. I think you could go higher than that with him. And very similar with Juwan Johnson. I do like taking higher than that on him. I even think you could play them both together, right? Receptions, 2.5. Tight ends, Denver, they're ranked 26 in the NFL, giving up 6 receptions to the tight end position. We saw 3 targets, 3 receptions last week. Olave went out with a concussion, and no Rashid and no Olave. Maybe we see, more targets for Juwan Johnson. So if you want to go reception yards or receptions or receiving yards, one of the two, I just do like the tight ends here. And again, I think you could play them both. I think they might go heavy, getting the ball out quick, so Rattler's not, trying to make big decisions down the field at all, and just try to slowly move that ball down the field. We could see big games out of Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau. And again, I'm perfectly fine if you wanted to play both of them here as well. So look at that. And then again, you got to play somebody on the Denver side. I still going to go back. I still think the best matchup here, now it just got grayed out, 32.5 reception yards. Even if this moves up a little bit, this is where I want to be, receiving yards, 32.5. I did like the receptions at 2.5. I think you could still play it at 3.5 for Devon. He's had 8 and 6 targets the 2 games he has played this year, putting up 39 and 78 yards. But I still think you could take the 1.12x here. My only worry is if Denver does get up early in this game, maybe they lean on the run a little bit more. But I do think you could take a chance at Devon here. Receiving yards I think is safer. And this comes up, but if you want to take receptions at a 1.12x multiplier, I think that's perfectly fine as well. But yeah, out of the slot, it's just a good matchup all around. That's where you want to attack these guys. It's just really game flow wise. If they get up early, do they really throw as much as they need to? That would be one thing I'd wonder. One thing I will note though, is this is Sean Payton coming back into New Orleans, right? I believe this is the first game he has come back into the Saints to play. So that's something, he's going to want to put one on this team, right? Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I'm just off the top of my head. I don't think he's came back and played the Saints yet. I think this is the first time he's played them since he used to coach for them. So let me know in the comments what you think of that. And again, here's a few plays you can decide to pick and throw them in. Some 2-mans, some 3-mans are where I really like to play an underdog, but you can, put them with some of your other plays. But That's my analysis on this game. It's going to be a rough one, I think, but I think there's some opportunity that we can to get after it. And again, make sure you jump on over and sign up for one of the subscriptions at Daily Edge Sports, as our prices are going to go up tomorrow. We're adding a lot more tools, and it's only going to get better. So with that, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Like always, I'll see you on the flip side. Deuces.